But I want to make this perfectly clear to every person in the country, man and woman, particularly women, that no guideline laid down by the Personal Insolvency Agency will be mandatory or have a condition that anybody has to give up a job in the country in respect of determining their position. I want to make that perfectly clear. The guidelines will not impose conditions on anybody, woman or man, to be required or forced to give up a job, irrespective of the reality of their current income as distinct from the childcare costs that might be involved. I know young teachers, young nurses, young people, young women in particular, who are not earning as much as their current childcare costs are. And it is a feature of the government and of the Minister for Social Protection and the Minister for Children to bring in as much childcare assistance and support as we can, the preschool year, the after-school hours and all of that. But it is a fact of life that these challenges apply for a relatively short period. Let me confirm to you again and for the House, the guidelines referred to, not yet published, will not have as a condition that anybody, woman or man, be required to give up a position in respect of working out their particular circumstances.
Taoiseach, I welcome your confirmation that the guidelines will be changed, because the guidelines have been published. The guidelines have been published.
Sorry, would you hold on?
Not in official format, if you're splitting hairs, but they're there and nobody is denying their existence. They were revealed in the Sunday Business Post. No one has contradicted the fact that the guidelines exist. Now, I welcome the Taoiseach's confirmation that somebody's going to say to the banks, change those guidelines. But what that speaks to really is the fundamental flaw in the government's approach to dealing with the mortgage arrears issue, i.e., people need independent oversight over the banks. You cannot trust the banks to deal properly and in a reasonable manner with people in mortgage arrears. And you should have learned a long time ago.
Sorry, hold on.
And we are. And in addition, we are meeting people. I mean, already the mortgage subsidy has been cut by government. Look, Minister Holland, you cut child benefit, which many mothers in this country didn't appreciate. So I'd appreciate now if you'd allow me the opportunity to speak, despite your promise. The bottom line is this. Last July, we put forward a very constructive proposal in the Dáil. And in fact, the government accepted the principle of what we said at second stage when we put a bill before the House to have an independent mortgage resolution process in place to mediate between the banks and the customers. We've put that forward over the last 12 months in a constructive way, Taoiseach, and you've ignored it and decided not to go with that particular proposal.
Thank you.
Now, what the draft guidelines illustrate is the degree to which
Deputy, you're over time.
fundamentally going to ignore your maybe best intentions in terms of this issue, and they will proceed to look after their situation first and not the people in mortgage arrears who are coming under increasing pressure day by day. From the banks, by the way.
Taoiseach,
well, I want to award you first prize for the hindsight statement of the century. You cannot trust the banks. Well done. Well done, Deputy Martin. Well done.
thank you.
You cannot trust the banks. Deputy Micheál Martin. I want to put an end to the phantom debate that you've been trying to engineer here about guidelines imposing mandatory conditions upon people being required to give up their job. Let's put an end to that debate now. It doesn't apply, won't apply, can't apply in any circumstance. This government understands exactly the scale of the balance and the challenge that hundreds of thousands of people face every day. Every one of you, the vast majority in the House here, have gone through that in their own way. And we understand the difficulties that so many women in particular have in balancing budgets to run households, pay their bills and meet their requirements. So that is not, that debate is a phantom debate, Deputy. Let's end it now.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. And the people of the country and the women of the country, the position is that no guidelines, published or unpublished, will require as a condition that somebody give up a job. And I might say this to you. If those in mortgage distress in dealing with their lender are unable to work out a position or a resolution to their particular problem, we'd hope that could be. If they decide to go to the Personal Insolvency Agency, it's at that point that the practitioner will sit down with the person or persons involved here and work out the range of what their living expenses should be. But it is entirely a matter for the couple, as the case might be, married couple, to decide what it is that they wish to do. And of course there's a recourse afterwards to the courts if they wish to do that.
Thank you.
So let's put an end now. Let's put an end now. Let's put an end now to any assertion, any allegation, any perception that somebody is going to be forced or required to give up a job in respect of a resolution here. This government is focused on getting people back to work. Why in heaven's name would we be supportive of some phantom debate that says people are going to be forced to give up employment? Nothing could be further from the truth. There will be an end to that now. Finish it.
Thank you.